We saw those questions for the first time this morning. Anderson and I and our team, Hillary Clinton and CNN, are the only ones who have seen them. And we want to get to some questions from online.
Well, am I allowed to respond to that? I assume I am.
Yes, you can respond to that. Except for now. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republican nominee for President, Donald J. Trump.
Where the
Mr. Trump,
campaign,
I want to get to audience questions and online questions.
So she's allowed to do that, but I'm not allowed to respond.
You're going to get to respond
fair.
right now.
That sounds fair.
So once again, go to HillaryClinton.com. We have literally Trump. You can fact check him, fact check him, fact check him, fact check him.
So ridiculous.
Do not applaud. You're just wasting time.
We've asked the audience here not to slow things down with any applause.
What will you do to bring the costs down and make coverage better?
That first one goes to Secretary Clinton because you started out the last one to the audience.
When they go low, you go high. And
there are 3.3 million Muslims in the United States, and I'm one of them. You've mentioned working with Muslim nations, but with Islamophobia on the rise, how will you help people like me deal with the consequences?
We've asked the audience here not to slow things down with any applause. There's been lots of fact-checking on that. I'd like to move on to an online question.
She just went about 25 seconds over her time. Could I just respond to this, please?
Secretary Clinton, does Mr. Trump have the discipline to be a good leader?
no.
I'm shocked to hear that.
Do not applaud. You're just wasting time.
So ridiculous. Look, now she's blaming. She got caught in a total lie. Her papers went out to all her friends at the banks, Goldman Sachs, and everybody else. And she said things, WikiLeaks, that just came out.
It's just not true. And so please go
you didn't delete them?
Allow her to respond, please.
Personal emails, not
Over
official.
33,000?
Not, well, we turned over 35,000. So it was.
What about the other 15,000?
Please allow her to respond. She didn't talk while you talked.
Yes, that's true. I didn't. And I didn't in the first debate, and I'm going to try not to in this debate because I'd like to get to the questions that the people have brought here tonight to talk to us about.
And get off this question.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
We want to remind the audience to please not talk out loud. Please do not applaud. You're just wasting time. You have not answered, though, a simple question. Did you use that $916 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes?
I absolutely used it, and so did Warren Buffett, and so did George Soros, and so did many of the other people that Hillary is getting money from. Now, I will say this about Hillary. She doesn't quit. She doesn't give up. So ridiculous. I tell it like it is. I understand the border. She doesn't. I disagree with much of what she's fighting for. I do disagree with her judgment in many cases. But she does fight hard, and she doesn't quit, and she doesn't give up. And I consider that to be a very ridiculous trait.
Thanks to both of you.
This concludes the town hall meeting. Our thanks to the candidates.
I'd like to know, Anderson, why aren't you bringing up the emails? I'd like to know. Why aren't you getting
brought up the emails?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. And it hasn't been finished at all. I was so surprised to see him sign on with the devil. But when you talk about apology, I think the one that you should really be apologizing for, and the thing that you should be apologizing for, why aren't you bringing up the emails? Look at me. Why aren't you bringing up the emails? Get off this question.
You're just being pounded on. You're being out-debated. I just don't want somebody running one of my companies that's going to get beaten up so badly. You're fired. You're fired.